guys, we got our first bear of the night. It is 8:42 and like clockwork, the bear came out right exactly where I said they were gonna come out. Check this out. Well, good morning guys, day 4, and we're back up on the glassing knob, as you can see, doing some glassing. Haven't seen much yet, but it's early, it's about 8 o'clock. Didn't get up here quite as early as I wanted to. I was hoping to get up here while the spot where that bear was at last night was still in the shade, but unfortunately didn't get up quite that early. Slept amazing last night. I had a little bit of a rough morning this morning. I broke the USB-C cable for my solar charger. I was trying to hang it up in a tree down by camp on a dead tree so that I could get some sun and charge up my battery bank while I was packing stuff up this morning. My heavy battery bank fell off the tree and broke the cord, and just one of those mornings where like I dropped my water bottle and like I had the dropsies, like a case of the Mondays this morning. So hopefully that isn't a sign to tell how the rest of the day is going to pan out. And hopefully we're going to find that big chocolate bear. I watched the video last night again after I went to bed, or after I got into bed, and it's definitely a pretty big bear. That's a pretty tough bear to pass up size-wise. I just wish it was the right color. Obviously, you guys know I've got the chocolate curse. Doesn't matter where I go, I always find chocolate bears. But anyway, that's the morning update. We're just doing some glassing here. Probably going to hike back down to camp in a little bit. Maybe a couple of hours. I'll sit up here and glass, and then I'll go back down to camp. Camp is, I don't know, 300 yards away. So it's not terrible. It's just hiking up the hill to get up here. Go back to camp, make some breakfast, and then pack up. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of exploring today. I want to hike over this ridge this way and look into this next drainage, and just see what that country looks like. And we may try to go do some horn hunting too, depending on how the day plays out. So we'll see how that goes. Guys, we are melting snow to make, got a couple of homemade little wind blocks here. Hey Mako, no, you gotta stay over there, buddy. All right guys, we are melting some snow and making some lunch at 9,000 feet. We're up on the top of this ridge. Just bushwhacked up here. It was totally dumb, and I definitely should not be up here. I don't think there's really any legitimate reason to be up here. My goal was to, sorry, my fire went out. My goal was to skirt around the side of this mountain and hit the saddle on the other side, and then maybe hike down and try to skirt around the back side of where that bear was last night that we found, with the intention of just getting a better shot on him. Unfortunately, I used the zoom tool and the measuring tool on Onyx to get an idea of about how far that bear would be to shoot from where I thought I could get to last night. And unfortunately, it's like 900 yards, which doesn't help. Can't shoot that far. So I can, I'm choosing not to. So we got to figure out a way to get closer, and the best way to get closer without spooking him or walking through where he's at, I thought, would be to come around the back side of him. So that's our plan, was to come around the back side of him and see if we could shoot down into where he was at. So that's the goal. We're just making some lunch up here. Got to get some energy in me. I'm crashing hard after hiking up that mountain and bushwhacking through that. Literally, we went through like 3 rock boulder fields. The dog was not happy about that. So that's the status update for now. Why do I always seem to find myself at the top of the dang mountain? Yeah, that's pretty much what I was side-hilling across, straight down that stuff. Just dumb. Pretty incredible view. Maybe a little too high for the bears. Crazy. Well, that's quite interesting. Holy cow. What in the world is this mess? Who and why? Man, I keep finding strange stuff in the woods. I don't know. Somebody obviously had a little shelter here that they were camping and sleeping on. They left all this like reflective bubble wrap in here. It's just crazy. Why? Well, my plan to hike up and around the mountain and sneak in on the bear from behind him, from where we saw him yesterday with the most favorable wind from what was happening yesterday, at least wind-wise, was foiled brutally by a giant mountain, treacherous side hilling, and literally mountains full of deep snow. The ridge behind me is actually the mountain we were up on top, right at 9,000 feet. We got up on the top there and hiked up into the saddle, or where it dropped down into the saddle. And my plan was to hike down into the saddle and then skirt around the bowl on the other side and come down and around the back side of the bear. But like I said, unfortunately, it was incredibly treacherous. The back side of this mountain was a snow field with, I don't know, the snow was 10, 12 feet deep and really soft. And so you couldn't even walk on top of it without snowshoes or anything like that. So we hiked back down the ridge, circled around the bottom of the timber here, skirting the edge of it. And we're now sitting kind of above the bear where he was at last night. In fact, he would have been due northwest of me right now. That's north and that's west, almost straight west of me, probably about maybe 1,000 yards. I'm guessing somewhere in there. We've got good wind right now, fingers crossed. The wind is blowing uphill, which is what you would expect on a nice, mostly sunny day. It's been overcast and clouds here for the last half hour. But hopefully, my goal is, depending on what the wind does, I know that right before dark the wind's going to switch and it's going to start blowing downhill, and I don't want to be above the bear. I want to be probably about the same elevation and side hill into him. There's not a lot of cover, but bears are blind and I'm not too worried about it. If he comes out in the same general area, I'm going to keep enough elevation that I'm kind of flanking him. Hopefully that's my plan. That's the goal. If we don't see him tonight, we're going to hike out of here first thing tomorrow morning and go try something different. That would be really unfortunate. I'm torn. I don't really want another chocolate bear, but that's a really nice bear. And I might be a fool to pass him up. And I've regretted passing up big chocolate bears in the past. So we'll see. I really just pray and hope that we can get an opportunity to get closer to him, to really assess how big he is. If he's as big as I think he is, then I think we'll take that bear. So that's the plan, guys. Like I said, we're gonna just kind of hang out here. It is 4 o'clock on the dot. And he didn't come out till 8:15 last night. Let's see. Yeah, 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in there. Sunset was at 9 p.m. Last shooting light, 9:30-ish. So, yeah, it was 8:30, 8:15, 8:30 before he came out last night. So we got a 4-hour wait. We're going to just sit here, recharge our batteries, our body batteries and our actual batteries. I got the solar panel out. Even though it's overcast, it's still charging. So I'm going to stop rambling. Let's go kill a bear. We just had that bull elk come out right in the same meadow, just above where the bear came out last night at 1,053 yards. And he fed across the mountainside and went below us at 100 yards. Freaking awesome. Totally awesome. Maybe 150 yards, but nonetheless, under 200. I ranged him at 99 when he was, or 199 when he was walking through the trees below me. Now we just need our bear to do the exact same thing. We need the bear to follow that script to a T, which I don't think he will. I don't think he'll come over here. If he comes out, if big fingers crossed, man, we need some prayers that he's going to come out. It's after 7 o'clock now, and about 7:30 actually, and hopefully he'll come out in that flat, in that meadow, and we'll be able to cut the distance. So we just need him to follow the script. It's pretty cool watching that elk feed across there. Beautiful bull. Good to see that he survived the hard winter. You could tell it was pretty tough on him, but it's funny, all of these elk that I've seen in here, I saw 12 bulls yesterday, I saw 4 bulls this morning, I saw 2 cows this afternoon, and then that bull, they're all headed south, which is really weird to me. I would have thought they'd be headed north, but apparently they're headed south, so pretty cool. All right, let's find a bear. Okay, so we are 585 yards from where he came out last night. About 485, I think, from the other flat meadow that he could come out at. 445 and 585. I don't want to shoot that far if I don't have to. I'm hoping that I can just get closer to him if and when he comes out, but I think I'll stay here until he either comes out or until dark. He's got to be in here somewhere. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Well, guys, it is not looking good. The sun has officially set, and we've got about 20 minutes of shooting light left, and no bear. Disappointing so far, but there's still 20 minutes left. I'm right at 525 yards from where he came out last night, and I can pretty easily cut another 125 yards if he comes out in the same spot, but he's not reading the script, guys, so not much we can do but wait. I'm pretty sure it's probably the wind. The wind is blowing the polar opposite that it was last night, and I don't think he's going to come out because of this wind, which is both good and bad. Good because had I done the plan that I originally wanted to do by sneaking all the way around it, the wind would have been horrible for me. And looking at it now that I'm over here, it would not have been a good play. So I'm glad that didn't work out. But the good news is, if I decide to stay in here, if the wind changes tomorrow night and he comes out in the same spot that he did last night, if the wind is right, even if it's blowing out of the south where I'm at right now, I can get to, I think, without him winding me, and I can get into position without him winding me. So tonight might be a wash, but that's okay. We learned something, and we saw a lot of game today, so still a win. Hopefully this won't be the last video. Hopefully the next video you'll see will be me chasing him down and shooting him. Unfortunately, no bears came out, and I discovered on my hike back to camp that big old chocolate bear, aka Chunky Monkey, had actually crossed through the drainage, most likely sometime during the night. As I still hunted the fading light back to camp, I'd come across his tracks, and he was headed south in the same direction as those elk. Disappointingly, that was where I had hiked all morning, and my wind probably blew him out. All right, good morning, guys. Morning update on day 5. Obviously, last night our play on that big chocolate bear did not pan out the way we wanted it to, but that's okay. That happens, right? So as I was hiking back last night to camp, right at dark, one of the drainages that I crossed on my way back to camp had a pretty large set of bear tracks in a snowbank. Anyway, kind of led me to wonder if that bear migrated across the hillside here, which is entirely possible. It's not that far. As a crow flies, it's maybe a half mile from where he was at night before last. So got up here on the glass and knob this morning a little earlier than yesterday. Just about 7:20 I got up here. Been glassing for a little bit, haven't seen anything. It's definitely possible that he came over and ended up in that chute and in that cut. There's not a lot of stuff to glass in there, and there's not a lot of really green grass in there. So if he did go through, I don't think he stayed. I think he probably went maybe back into the next canyon. But what's weird is I was in the next canyon over yesterday, and there's not any green grass in there either. So I don't know. The choice now becomes, do I stay or do I go?
You got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
And I haven't really decided yet. Glass up some bears, maybe make a decision on whether we're going to stay in here or not. It's supposed to maybe rain tonight. Obviously we got bluebird skies, so it's hard to say, but I don't know. We got 2 days, today and tomorrow, pretty much, to get it done. And I think if I go somewhere else, it's a half of a day wasted just traveling to get to a different area or go to a different spot. So we'll see. Fingers crossed again. Sending a prayer up that we get a good opportunity at a bear here. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys. Well, afternoon of day 5, and we have relocated into a totally new area, totally new spot. Never been bear hunting here before, but I gotta be honest, guys, it looks pretty freaking epic. This is awesome. On the way in, there was one set of tracks, and I'm the only truck at the trailhead, and the tracks that were coming in turned around before we even got to the trailhead. So I think I am the first person that's been in here this year. So that's exciting. That's either good or bad. It means there's either maybe some bears in here or maybe nobody hunts here because there's no bears here. But hopefully you can see some of the country behind me. It looks freaking epic, and I got a really good feeling we're gonna find some bears tonight. So it is about 3 o'clock, almost 2:55, and the mosquitoes are thick, like they're gonna carry me off kind of thick. So that also to me is a good sign. That means we're in the right country. It seems like every time I find mosquitoes I find bears. So hopefully We'll spot some bears here soon and we can make a plan on them. Pretty steep country, pretty rugged, pretty green. So let's do this. Let's find a big old jet black tonight, guys. Let's go. I made a grave mistake and I suggested that I would quit bear hunting if I didn't see any bears tonight in this meadow. That was a huge lie and I'm sorry for lying to you. I'm not going to quit bear hunting. I know that might disappoint some of you. It probably would not disappoint my girlfriend or my children. But I'm not going to quit bear hunting if I don't see any bears tonight, or at least any bears in that meadow. I still would bet the farm that we're going to see bears, even though it's 8 o'clock and we haven't seen any yet. Maybe the lack of hunting pressure in here is a sign that there's not any bears in this area. I highly doubt that to be true. I know otherwise, so they're here. The thing that we might be battling on this side is that there's a lot of green stuff, so there's a lot of forage out, and there might be just too much green, which can be a problem also, which means, you know, there's just a lot of places they can be, and so they're not really focused or concentrated into certain areas. So that could be something that we're battling. It's certainly possible that another predator has ran the bears out of here, grizzly bear, wolves. It's also certainly possible that hunters have been in here and somebody's harvested a bear, and those are also factors, but I really do believe we're still going to see a bear. They're in here. We just got to find them. A little patience. But I'm not going to quit bear hunting. Sorry to disappoint. I might, however, freeze to death up here. Kidding. It's cold, but it's not that cold. All right. We're going to keep after it. Welcome to my humble abode. In this episode of Truck Camping Volume 1, we've got dinner. Guys, I made it back to the truck at the trailhead here, and unfortunately we saw 0 bears tonight. Pretty disappointing. That's 2 nights in a row where we haven't spotted any bears. And it is what it is. Not a whole lot you can do about it. I'm in a pretty awesome spot, so I'm just hoping that tomorrow we'll see some bears. I don't know if I'll stay here or not, but we'll get up early in the morning, hike up on the hill, do some glassing, and we'll see what we see. And in the meantime, I'm gonna eat some dinner, watch a movie, and go to sleepy. Mako the doggo and I got a pretty sweet setup in here. Got a little table set up, and I'm just sleeping on my air mattress, which is not my favorite thing to do in the world, given that I'm generally a hammock sleeper, but it'll work. We'll make it work for this evening. Got a pretty good little cozy setup here, so can't beat that. All right, good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. guys. We got a roaring thunderstorm behind us. Check that beast out. Had some pretty good thunder come through, and it is obviously dumping back there. Turn so hopefully my microphone isn't in the wind as bad. Alright guys, you gotta check this out. This is something really, really special. This hasn't happened to me in a long time. A really, really long time. But this is freaking awesome. So I just left my glassing spot and this view is amazing. So you gotta see the view first. Isn't that incredible? And as I'm walking, I look down and I see something in the dirt. And it's this. Hopefully you guys can see it. Try to get up as close as I can, but right there. Check that out, guys. That is an obsidian arrowhead. That's the tip of the arrowhead. That is freaking cool. I'm gonna get my fingers moist here. Clean it off a little bit so you can really take a look at it. But how cool is that? That is really good luck, guys. That's freaking awesome. But we can't keep it. We gotta leave it here. How sweet is that? That's incredible. In a place like this, just imagine the story that that arrowhead could tell. If it could tell one, that would be awesome. At some point, hundreds of years ago, a Native American was sitting in this very place and may have ambushed an elk, an antelope, a bear, or even a mule deer at this very spot. There's water behind me, there's cover, this is a natural funnel. Just how freaking cool is that? Awesome. What a truly cool experience. Guys, well, evening 6 is a wrap. Shooting light is over in about 8-10 minutes, and I waited till the last half hour light. Hey, back. Thank you, good boy. I waited till the last 30 minutes of shooting light. Didn't see any bears come out in any of the places that I expected to see bears. So I still hunted up through this little saddle that I found elk hunting a couple years ago. And just thought for sure there would be a bear in there, at least one. I mean, it is the most natural little funnel and saddle between a couple of big different drainages, and there's water, there's cover, and the grass is like luscious green, lettuce green, the stuff the bears really like. And there's no bears, no bear sign, no tracks, no scat, no nothing. I am completely dumbfounded. So this might be it for the 2025 bear season. There's 2 weeks left in the season. This coming weekend And then, like I said, it closes June 15th and it's May 30th today. But I gotta go down to Wyoming this weekend and for a family event. And then the last weekend of the season is my mom's memorial down in Wyoming, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it yet or not, but anyway, this might be it. If it is, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Tried to make it fun, tried to make it interesting, tried like hell to find some bears, a big black bear to kill with the limited time I had this year. And well, as of right now, I haven't made it happen yet. So the saga continues, the chocolate curse continues, and the search for a giant black bear continues. This is High Country Dan. I'm out. Boom, guys, we are back and it is June 6th and the hunt for a giant black bear continues. The saga, part 2 of this year's bear hunt is continuing. Guys, we're back into one of my old stomping grounds. Decided to go check out some country that I've hunted a lot before. I've seen a lot of bears in there, seen a lot of big bears, killed my biggest bear. And we are headed back into that country to see if we can seal the deal for the last weekend of the hunt. Got the pack all loaded up, got things all mostly cinched down, got a switch out of my clothes here quick, and we're gonna hit the trail. So stay tuned, this is gonna be an exciting venture. You guys are gonna watch me and Mako. We're gonna kill a bear this weekend. I got a good feeling. I do have some bad news. I'm living out of my truck now. I had to sell the farm after last week's adventure, and we did not see any bears in that country where I promised you we would see some bears. As I said earlier, just a little dumbfounded, really surprised that we did not see any bears in that country. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're gonna keep hunting hard. We're gonna find a bear this weekend. I have no doubt about that. And hopefully we're gonna kill a bear, get it on film for you guys. So this weekend's motto is, if it's brown, it's down. If we find a giant brown bear, brown color-phased black bear, we're gonna take that bear. We'll see. So stay tuned, let's get on the trail.
I was hopeful this year's lower than average snow levels would help me get deeper into the backcountry, explore new country, and get into areas that I've seen big bears before, but could never reach. At the trailhead, I ran into 2 other dedicated bear hunters who expressed plans to go into one of the 2 areas I was considering. I opted to let them go their way, and I went the other direction into my primary spot. The following morning, I would glass up a beautiful black bear. It was just a couple 100 yards from their camp. It was early morning, and the hunters hadn't emerged yet from their tent. The bear was feeding on the same logging road that they had pitched their camp. And before long, he disappeared into the thick timber after about an hour of feeding. To say the least, I was a little jealous and disappointed that I wasn't in that spot. Of course, a jet black bear would appear right next to their camp. However, there was something a little pleasing about the fact that they had no idea.
Hey guys, so it's 12 o'clock and just glassed up a really, really pretty blonde bear. Not a big bear. Didn't get a chance to really look at him for very long. He's across the canyon from me. He was up in this little bowl right in kind of the bottom of it. And glassed him up, and he was feeding down, and then he kind of trotted down into the timbers. I was actually about to bail off this ridge and go down the timber and hit the logging road and hunt the logging road down in the low stuff. But now that I saw that bear way up here, I think I'm gonna cross this draw and get up on the next ridge. I should be able to glass into where that bear was at. And we may end up spending the day there, depending on what it looks like. I'm not interested in shooting that bear. It looks almost identical to the one that I shot a couple years ago. So cool to see nonetheless. Bear number 2 for the morning. So that's good. And yeah, we're having fun. We're finding bears, and it's beautiful country. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's hike over there and see what we can see. It's 7:46 and our blonde bear friend came out. And then he ran back into the timber. I didn't get to see him for very long, literally less than a minute. He came out, of course, in the next meadow over from where I'm sitting, 446 yards away. I hope he comes out so we can get some more footage of him. He was looking up the canyon when he spooked and ran out. Wind is blowing right up in my face, so we didn't scare him. That was cool. I want him to come back out so I can get some more footage of him for you guys.
And just like that, moments later, the bear appeared heading straight towards me. spent some time watching this bear, and just as I had suspected earlier, this was most likely a young sow or a boar. The bear was pretty small and definitely not a bear I was interested in harvesting. I was hopeful though that it was a sow and it might lure a much larger boar into the area. It's always a good idea to spend some time watching the bears and paying attention to what they're foraging on. If you watch closely, you can see this bear is pretty selective as to what he's eating. This obviously isn't a lush salad bar that you might expect a bear to be eating in. If you're having a hard time estimating the size of a bear, don't worry, you're not alone. Bears can be one of the most difficult animals to field judge for size. They're always pretty skittish animals, but younger bears will always be on high alert for larger bears. It's a bear eat bear world and size matters. This bear is a great example of what to look for. It gives us several angles to judge. It's usually not hard to tell the difference between a really big bear like Chunky Monkey and small bears like this one. It's those schmedium bears that are hard to judge. Focus on their ear size and location of the ears. Big boars have wide heads and the ears will appear smaller and off to the sides of their heads. Small bears will have perky ears and skinny bodies like this one. Did you know that black bears don't eat, drink, urinate, or even defecate for months, recycling their waste during hibernation? And interestingly enough, black bears are not true hibernators, but actually enter a deep winter sleep called torpor.
Well, guys, this might be the last night of our 2025 bear hunt. It's a beautiful night, a little windy. Our plan to get in the area of and on top of that blonde bear worked perfectly. Had him at 264 yards, and definitely could have killed him if there would have been any more bears in the area. I kind of suspected that would be the case, but sometimes you just never know. I've had a lot of times where you find a bear like that in a meadow and it's a good spot and other bears show up, especially this time of year when they're rutting. But it's about 8:30 and I do not want to get off these cliffs in the dark. So I think here shortly, give it about maybe another 10-15 minutes, we're going to try to navigate our way down through a chute over here and see if we can get down to the logging road below us. It's a long ways down there. It's probably at least 1,000 feet vertical down to the logging road. So I'm really surprised we didn't see more bears tonight, being where we're at. I mean, there's just countless drainages, draws, meadows, roads that I can see and glass from here. Honestly, probably one of the most scenic spots that I've ever been to, with the amount of actual features that you would want to glass for bears. I mean, everything. down here, below me, across, over there. What's really weird is I've hunted this area for almost 20 years. And historically, this stuff back over here behind me, I always see bears up in there. And usually you can't get to them because the snow is too deep. And there's just too much snow to get back in there. But this year you could pretty easily, or at least not easily, but you could definitely get back there. And I haven't seen a single bear back there in 2 nights, which is very, very unusual. So anyway, let's wrap it up for this evening. Might be a wrap for the 2025 bear season. We are going to hunt in the morning. We got to get back to camp tonight and then probably hunt the ridge across from camp in the morning. Who knows, see what we can see, and then hike out of here mid-morning. That's the plan. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't done so, like and subscribe, please. Bump the channel up, share with your friends. Hope you guys like this video. The hunt for the Black Godzilla continues. The Chocolate Curse saga continues. Maybe next year.